that, but it's Wednesday, so we're talking sports business, and my headphones apparently aren't working quite right, or maybe I'm not quite working right, but we are up and going here. Alan Robinson and myself, because it's Wednesday, so we're talking sports business, and we've got an interesting program lined up with John Lucas, and I think it's going to be a great program here today. We're going to be jumping in right away with John Lucas here shortly, but on today's program, we're going to talk, like we do every Wednesday, the connection between sports and business, and you continue to provide, Alan, a great list of phenomenal guests, and John Lucas being added to that, and why don't you go ahead and introduce our guests?
Well, fantastic. We're very fortunate this morning to get one of the great commodities of our arena here on the sports side, and that is John Lucas. Basketball season kicked off last night, so we try to keep with the theme of the season. And in this particular capacity, we have someone who has had the experience in many arenas in the area of being not only a professional athlete, but being a coach and also being a dad to a professional athlete. So those dynamics are very unique in its own capacity. And again, we're just going to have a kind of a round table today to talk about the experiences on the court, the experiences of fatherhood, and experiences of understanding that you are a corporation and marketable, and life goes on beyond sports, and where he's tying into that particular opportunity to give back in the capacity of his passion.
Unfortunately, we didn't bring a round table, but we're going to do the best we can anyway. John Lucas, welcome to our program.
Thank you. Good morning.
You have a fascinating story, and I'd like you to go ahead and just tell us a little bit about that story. Let's just jump right in.
Well, I'll just start with my time in Houston. I was the #1 pick in 1976 out of the University of Maryland. I came to a team that lost 50 games, and we added 2 players, myself and Moses Malone, and we turned around and won 50 games, won the division, and went to 1 game of the finals the year the Portland Trail Blazers with Bill Walton won the championship. That was also the first year of the merger of the ABA-NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Played for 2 years here, and then they signed a player by the name of Rick Barry. At that time, which is interesting, the business of basketball was the commissioner decided what was fair compensation for you signing another player on another team when he was free. So the Golden State Warriors wanted either Moses Malone or myself, because we were the younger players. That included Rudy Tomjanovich, Calvin Murphy, Mike Newland. That was our starting 5. So I went to Golden State and there I inherited a serious drug problem, had a very good year. And then eventually by being a #1 pick, I had a kind of a contract like Kobe Bryant's, a no trade clause. If I ever got into trouble, they had to pay me. They suspended me for my behavior, and they had to honor the contract. Then I went back to the Washington Wizards. I had a 17-year career. Ended up back in Houston in '86, the year they went to the finals and lost to the Celtics. And came back again in '90. I played a 15-year career. I've been the #1 guy on the team, the middle guy on the team, the aging veteran to the last guy, to a head coach right off the bat as a former player, to an owner of a minor league basketball team, to a general manager and vice president of basketball operations. Some people are in the business for coaching wins and losses. When I got sober, which I've been sober 22 years, I'm in the business of coaching people. Mm-hmm. It happens to be in the game of sports. And so my win and loss record, I don't really judge. You know, a lot of coaches will judge by wins and losses. I know I met a coach the other day, he said he had 700, and I asked him how old his daughter was and what year. So he didn't know that, but he knew how many wins he had. So I would rather know my daughter's birthday than how many wins I have, because I think now with talk radio, sports talk shows, ESPN, and so much TV, the pressures to win and succeed are so great. But you know, when you